Bro, let me tell a story that just happened to me like a few days ago. So lately I've been like interested in buying an iPad because I kind of need it, but I also don't. But yeah, I only need it for entertainment. So I figured out, okay, why not use my all my savings for an iPad? And yeah, I've been searching on everywhere, like like a third party app. I've been searching like an iPad Pro 11 inch 2018 I think. So yeah, I've been searching everywhere. I search from basically I search on Facebook Marketplace and also a bunch of other apps. Let's just call them other Craigslist again, I guess. So yeah, I've been searching for the whole night for the iPad, and finally I seen a few like broken iPads that go for around 200, which is kind of below the market price, which is kind of low, below the market price. But each each of the low price iPads sometimes it's like, okay, you get a cheap iPad, but your iPad does not function properly. It's either the back covers is broken, or the front display is broken, has scratches all over, or like broken in any way, in any. Yeah, from throughout many searches I seen a bunch of broken shit, but I don't care if if the iPad is only broken on the outside, like the covers, like the back of the iPad. I don't know what's it called in English, but yeah, let's just call it the back of the iPad. If it has like scratches or like bent on the inside, it's fine. If bent the whole entire phone, I don't want that. But yeah, so as long as the display is fine, the Face ID, the scans is fine, I'm fine with it, and also the battery. So after like a night of searching, I spotted a clean one, a nice one. The back is kind of broken a bit, kind of has major scratches and bent a bit, but I was fine with it. I was like bargaining with the seller for the whole night. I found one that goes around 300, 350, and it has 256 gigabyte. And I was like, all right, let me bargain this guy. It went from 350 to 315. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take it. And he sent me a location, and boy, his location was so goddamn far, from mine. It's literally, okay, I don't know which place to compare it, but it's almost like 10 kilometers, I would say. It takes me an hour to get there, and me being a dumbass, I am not so familiar with my city, because I just moved here, and I have to use my Google map to navigate everything, which is okay. It was fine. It was a bit challenging, but it's fine. So okay, I got there. I drove for like an hour, and when I got there, I saw him, and bro, that dude seems so okay. I'm not judging people, but that dude seems so. How do I say this without offending anyone? He just looks like a bad person. All right, he just looks like one of those bad kids in high school that bullies other people for money. Okay, I was like, fine, it's all right. He's selling me the iPad. I'm not being friends with him. Okay, and when I got there, he smells, bro. He smells so bad. I reckon he doesn't. I think he doesn't even take showers. I think he smells so freaking bad. And okay, throw that story aside away. So okay, I got there. I tested the iPad, and he sat next to me, brings out the iPad, and he said, "You can test anything. You can test anything you want. Test your face scan. Test the password. Not test. Test Apple ID. Check if there's any problem with the iPad." And yeah, so I did. And when he handed me the iPad, it was heated like crazy. I touched the iPad, and boy, it was heating like I'm heating a pizza. But okay, aside from that, the iPad was nice. But I asked him if he did charge, but he answered me like kind of suspicious. I don't know if he's like trying to hide that the iPad is the iPad battery is bad, but yeah, it was heating. I was like, fine. I look past the red flags. All right, I was like, fine. I'll just test everything. Okay, I checked the display. I moved the app around to check if there's like an error or like anything wrong with the display, and it was like fine. It was working perfectly. Everything was smooth sailing until I checked the Face ID. Bro, keep in mind, I was there for like a minute. I was testing it for like a minute. I tested the camera too, and when I looked upon the Face ID, that is where the problem started. I scanned my face. It doesn't scan. It doesn't like detect my face. Even though there's the setup Face ID button, but it doesn't detect my face. So I was like, okay, this is the biggest red flag so far. I checked. I scanned my face. It doesn't. I was like, hey dude, didn't you say in your description you said it was working fine? Everything was fine, right? Why the Face ID is not working? I handed the iPad to him and he started, to be frank, testing it out. I don't know if he's acting or what, but he's been testing it for like 10 minutes, trying to get his face to be detected. But the iPad didn't detect his face because it was broken, alright? Because it was broken. Yeah, and from that part I knew that, alright, I gotta ask this guy for another discount. I asked for like 300, which is kind of dumb of me because Face ID cannot be equal to $15, alright? And he said no. He even said no. I cannot do that because his iPad is whatever original. Haven't like got it fixed yet. Cause you know, like an iPhone, if you got it fixed, the values kind of like goes down. And then he proceeds to say like, oh, the Face ID is not that important. Okay, let's say he said the Face ID is not that important. What important is his iPad is original. Haven't like checked up or haven't fixed or anything. The display is nice and overall the system is quite okay. It's not in a terrible condition. And I was like, bro, your iPad has one function that is not functional, and you want to sell me at the same price. And that was in my head. But I at some point I told him that too, and he said he cannot like discount the price. He said I was trying to like look for mistakes so I can like get another discount. And I was like, bro, it's not that I'm looking for a mistake for the discount. I want the iPad too, but the iPad has a function that is not functional. So how could I ignore that as a buyer? I don't understand, which kind of makes me mad. The stuff that he said is just like unacceptable. And yeah, at some point he's trying to manipulate me on saying just like how I explained to you guys, saying that his iPad's blah 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 original, whatever. And yeah, I was kind of mad. At that point, I was like, okay, I traveled so far just to not get the iPad. At that point. But also some part of me is just like, nah, I don't want this shit because the seller's a jackass who try to like manipulate me. I'm sure like an easy person would buy it quickly, just like me, but I was just like, no, it's not worth it, man. At this point I'll just get like an Android iPad that costs like 1/3 of the price of the iPad. But I like the iPad, so yeah, that's why I was like rushing to buy it. But then I realized, okay, an Apple iPad for like 300 is not quite pleasant, not quite like not quite acceptable, because it's either gonna have a malfunction or like its screen is cracked or the back is shitty. So I was like, alright, I have to think this like so deeply so I don't regret my choices. And yeah, we bargained for like an hour. We talked about it for like an hour. He still doesn't like discount the price, and I was like, dang. I was like, alright, fuck this. I was like, fuck this. I don't give a shit anymore, because just like I said, he didn't discount, and also it's not worth it for my time. And yeah, I clearly ended the talking and tried to walk away. And then he tried to stop me and said, bro, can we do 305? I was like, hell nah, bro. Hell nah, I'm not doing that shit. I cannot, bro. I mean, if you give me like 300, I was like, oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. And throughout like my testing, I saw his iPad battery. I was comparing it to my iPhone, and boy, that battery drains so fast. It drained from like 60 to 55 in like a span of like 1 minute, and at that point, that's just like the vibes aren't there anymore. It's just over. I don't want to buy an iPad anymore. And then I just like leave my moto and drove again for like an hour. So basically my traveling takes like 2 hours from going back and forth, and I was so tired from the event I joined because I applied for a volunteer. I volunteered at that event. So from 3 to 5, um I was listening to them and also like trying to separate the logistic, try to look at the logistic if there's any like anything I needed to do. Yeah, and yeah, it was quite tiring because it was kind of far. So yeah, but yeah, I was pretty tired, and when I got back, to be honest, I didn't regret buying. I didn't regret my decision at all because the iPad wasn't worth. I just know that iPad wasn't worth my time. So when I got back, I was so tired, not mentally, I just physically tired. So yeah, that's the end of the story. So this has taught me one thing, is that I am never buying from a Facebook marketplace ever again.